Welcome, friends and family. Super excited to be here with you again in this early December 11th video with Miss Ciera.
Yes, sir.
She has been a phenomenal agent. She joined us. When was actually your start date? Do you recall? Was it
Start day January 8th.
January 8th?
24.
Okay. All
2024.
right, wonderful. And so now you've been with us a little over 11 months.
Yes, sir.
Miss Ciera, you just actually came from a closing.
Yes, I did.
So let me ask
Well.
you an exciting question. How many have you closed in the 11 months you've been with us so far?
That was my 24th closing.
Woohoo!
24th.
Well done. Well
Yes, sir.
done. So
Thank you.
I know when you came in, we said that our goal was to work with you to get 24 sales in your first year, which we know that takes a lot of effort. Like that takes a lot of skill, a lot of effort. Average real estate agent in the United States and the state of Tennessee, they'll close 4 to 6 deals a year. And you just in 11 months closed 24. Congratulations.
24. Thank you. Well, I couldn't have done it without you guys. 24 sounded like a stretch when I first started. But I knew with the support around, if you guys said I could get it done, I knew I could get it done.
You just were crazy enough to believe that. And
That's true. That's true.
And thank you. You know, I appreciate you appreciating us, but truthfully, you did the work, and
Thank you.
and that's what it takes. It takes that kind of grit and grind, and willing to probably feel awkward and uncomfortable. Like I've never started anything the first time, and it just felt natural. Like
Sure.
there's some things that I've enjoyed doing that I've done the first time, but it didn't necessarily become natural. That's a process, and you have to lean into it and grow into it. So it was a joy to work with you in that process. And I know Casey and Lucas and Renee, everybody's done a lot to help with that.
Oh, yeah.
So 24 closed, how many pending?
I've now got 7 pending. Just put one under
Whoa!
contract this morning.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So 24 closed, 7 pending. I know you set a pretty high goal for yourself. You're an overachiever. You like to win at a high level. You wanted to close 30
Yes.
when you came in. And so that may be why in 11 months you've closed 24.
Yes.
And the thing is, Ciera, when you came in, what prior experience had you had in real estate?
Besides looking on Zillow for my own fun, absolutely none, nothing.
Right.
I didn't know what went into negotiations. I couldn't tell you what a title company was before I started here. So I learned a lot.
You had graduated from Tennessee Tech, though, with a degree in marketing.
Yes, sir.
23 years old when you first started. Just believed in yourself enough to be able to come in and do the work to get to our goal in 11 months.
Yeah.
And 7 pending. So another thing I wanted to kind of add to that, you came in really with no background in real estate, other than just kind of looking on in probably HGTV, scrolling through Zillow.
Oh, HGTV.
Never
Yes.
bought a piece of land,
No.
never sold a piece of land, did have a degree in marketing. Of that marketing degree right now, I'm guessing you're probably not using a lot of that.
I mean, I'll kind of make little things on Canva for like closings or pendings and stuff like that. But other than that,
You're too
I'm
busy.
really relying on you guys
You're too
for the
busy
marketing.
to
Yes.
do a lot more than that.
Fair, yeah.
You came in with really not a great understanding or background, but you're willing to learn, and you had 0 deals when you came in.
0.
So it usually takes, you know, for the average sale, what would you say from the time of property, like the one you just put pending today? How many days did you set that for it to close?
This one, they have a home sale contingency, so it's just over 30 days, 36 days or so. But average I'm seeing is about 30 days if our lender's on it, like he typically is. And we can shoot for maybe 20, 30 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, so average closings probably 30 to 36 days. And so you came in with nothing. So you had to build right off the bat to even get 1 closing, then 2, then 3, and then it starts to trickle.
Right. And even seeing 3, I'm like, I have so many to go. How am I going to do this? But in spring into the summer, they started to pile up a little bit, which I'm not complaining. I enjoyed it thoroughly.
I know for me, you know, and it took me a long time with my mindset to kind of start working with what I would consider, in our world, we'd probably say higher end purchasers.
Sure.
People that are purchasing homes at prices of 4, 5, 6, 7, 800,000. And you've worked with several of those.
A handful.
Yeah.
To my surprise.
You're now 24, you were 23 when you came in. As a young lady working with people that are of that stature Was there any intimidation there, or were you able
Yeah.
to?
Yeah.
There
I mean,
was for me.
internally, for
Yeah.
sure. But I didn't want to portray any sort of like underconfidence. And I hate getting posed questions that I don't have the answer to. But I really embrace just like hearing, advice from you guys. Just admit if you don't know something that you'll work on it, get back to them as soon as possible. And they appreciate that. I mean, they can understand. They may have specific questions that I've never dealt with before. Or, I mean, any agent can come across that. But just being personable, I think,
For sure.
does a lot. And just keeping the conversation. A lot of higher end buyers that I helped was from California, so I kind of had that to be relatable with them.
Because you grew up there until you were
14.
in your teens, 14. You
Yeah.
moved here. Yeah.
So been here for 10 years, but
So
anyone
you were
really
still
coming
in
in from out
California
of state.
longer than you were here, actually. Yeah.
I'm coming up on it,
Yeah.
which is bizarre, but
So you took a trip this year, went back to California.
yes, I did.
How long had it been since you'd went back and visited?
I had gone back last year for my best friend's wedding, but
Okay.
it was actually just about a year mark since I went back last.
Okay, great.
So.
Ciera, we could go on forever in that conversation. There's so much good stuff right there. But just to kind of keep it light on your 11th month in, what are some big wins that you feel like you have to celebrate with joining the Elevate community, especially on the team side? Really it's a fast pace. What are some big wins for you? What would you say are some of the biggest wins in 11 months?
I would say wins, things I'm most proud of would be once I got the ball rolling with having, 2, 3, 4 deals pending, I've been able to keep that up for majority of the months. And that's not me trying to boast by any means,
No.
but that's just something that
That's
I was
security,
really proud
right?
of. Yeah,
Well,
felt really good.
If you don't mind me interrupting.
No.
Probably one of the reasons that feels really good to you is because in real estate sales, you are straight commission. So when you worked at Aldi or we're going to work at Tennessee Tech, that was a salary.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a paycheck every week, as long as you showed up.
Exactly.
Now, you ain't guaranteed that. So knowing that you have 3 or 4 pending, of those 3 or 4, one could fall out, but
Yes.
but that's kind of the security, right?
Exactly.
So yeah.
Yes, so keeping those pending, as we already discussed, hitting that 24 goal, that is huge for me. I'm on track to close about 28 before the end of the year.
Wow.
So I'm trying not to beat myself up too much if I
Yeah.
don't hit that 30. But you know what? I mean, that's something to be proud of, is at least getting close. I mean, I may have overshot a little bit, but I'd say that's a huge win for me. Buying a house was a huge win.
Absolutely. So
I
you
did
bought your
not-
first house.
I bought my first home.
Yep, and now you are officially moved out of Putnam County. Well, actually, it was Jackson County
Yes, it was.
into White County.
Yes, sir.
So you now own a home in White County. That's a huge accomplishment. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so much.
You had your first Thanksgiving there this year.
I did,
You
yeah.
hosted how many people at your home?
19 people.
19 people.
Oh my gosh, it went from 12 to 19 people, but as I was telling everybody when they were there, man, it feels so much better to have a house full.
Amen. Yeah,
So,
you
it was
you
so
love
nice.
people. That I'm sure meant a lot to you, meant a lot to your family.
Mm-hmm.
So the joy of owning a home is a lot more than just saying, hey, I'm a homeowner.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's the people that come in that home that get to feel your love, get to feel the having a Thanksgiving dinner together. That's a huge
Yes.
accomplishment
Thank you.
at any age. But again, at 24 this year, the average age of the first-time home buyer is now 34.
Which is bizarre to me.
For you to take that leap to buy a home was a bit of a stretch, right? Like
It was a bit of a stretch.
you had to get out of your
So-
comfort zone.
Yes. When I was bringing up the idea with Elijah, I'm like, I want to stay under 150.
And she's
That was not super realistic by any means. I think I was just nervous to take that initial jump. But as you told me, and I really have resonated with this since, and I'm going to take it into so many other things, but kind of having that pressure on you to work harder, have that payment, kind of sitting there in front of your face. It's helped me a lot, honestly. Not even just with, working harder for the home, but to expand into other things as well. If I'm able to do this, what else am I capable of?
right.
Is just what's on my
So
mind.
Next month we'll kind of have our final numbers in, so we can
Mm-hmm.
be able to kind of look at that income, what it costs to run your business,
Mm-hmm.
what your average commission check is, and we can talk about that. But
Sure.
you're bringing in a pretty good income currently. You can afford a home. You would have, the longer you wait, usually the higher the price goes.
Exactly.
Everything
Yes.
goes up. I don't know anything real estate related that doesn't go up.
Right.
And so by being able to get that jump, probably 10 years on now what is the first-time homebuyer's age,
Wow.
you're so far ahead of the game. And we also had conversations about potentially letting that just be your first home, working to pay it off, and then maybe starting a real estate portfolio and some rentals, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's my goal. I was even talking with Israel, and maybe, I don't know how big of a stretch this is, but save up some money and maybe do an investment property or purchase another rental while I don't know. I have some ideas in my head, but I got to see how I can execute that.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. So those having goals and a little bit of debt doesn't hurt us. You know what I
No,
mean?
I have learned that.
Especially when we have graduated in the security. You know, again, if you weren't carrying 3 or 4 pending regular, if you didn't know, if you weren't becoming very skilled at what you did, then I don't think you would have bet on yourself to do that.
No.
But you've got enough experience to know keeping 3 or 4 pending at all times. Basically, in the dead of winter, the beginning of winter, you're carrying 7 pending. You put one under contract today.
Unbelievable, right? I did not expect it.
And you closed one today.
I closed one today. I've got a closing Friday. So it's a busy week, a very good busy week. But July was my first highest month of sales. I had 5 pending. And then I was able to I had 6 pending in November. 1 fell out, but just I did not expect that at all.
Yeah.
So it was a blessing.
So you know you can keep that 3 or 4. You felt secure enough to bet on yourself to go ahead and move forward. So that's a huge win. Huge win having your family over. What other wins are you feeling? Spiritually, I know you just joined a Bible study recently.
Yes, joined a Bible study recently. SIS is the group's name.
Yeah.
So if any of you young females are interested in joining a group, they're phenomenal. Very welcoming. And funny enough, I was invited by a client that I'm currently working with. So that was huge.
Right. Yeah, so people you get to know that you work with. So those are huge wins, right?
Absolutely.
Like they cared enough about you. You helped them get in probably one of their biggest assets they're ever going to get into as humans. And yet our spiritual will carry on way longer than our temporary here on earth. So that they invited you to a Bible study is pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. And I mean, we've just gotten to talking, and even that aside, I've had past clients over to my home. I have plans with the past client tomorrow for like a Christmas activity. So I've met more people than I could have ever imagined, built great relationships with people. You know, it was almost, I hate to say this, but just being real, it was almost awkward for me to have conversations with my clients because I felt like I was almost invading, like they just want to talk business and they don't, you know, want to maybe have.
You're gifted that you could go both ways with people.
And I've learned that. And so, I mean, there definitely still is boundaries, but to be able to have relationships with those clients, do things with them, have them text you, how's your week going, text on the holidays, it's just so sweet.
And see, I mean, you're lighting up like a Christmas tree, and we can see that it really brings you joy.
Oh, yeah.
To serve people, to get to know people. I mean, the benefits of a good income, of security, of a home, all that goes a long way. But it's what that really brings is the relationships, the friendships, getting involved in Bible studies, building relationships with your clients. That's huge. I mean, and a lot of people could get in here. And I know in the beginning you talked a lot about the work it takes to get to where you are and dialing out and the exhaustion of going through falters. So there's a lot of pain and suffering to get to where now at this point, 11 months, it feels like you're riding a bicycle a little bit more.
A little bit more, which is so awesome. I was talking with Israel, because he sees when I get home, I'm still working up until probably about 8 o'clock at night or so, which I don't mind. But when I would go home and have to go through like home inspection conversations, it was so uncomfortable for me, and I didn't honestly know how to approach it very well. I mean, I'd get through it, but it was very uncomfortable. But now I just give them a call, ask what they, want or may need.
Did you get a chance to look over that? What did you see that was an issue?
Yeah.
Did you see this by chance? What do you think about that?
Much lighter conversation.
Yeah.
So, and they're just great. They're grateful for any advice that I have, and not that I'm telling them what to do, but just being the guide it feels really good.
Well, Ciera, we always enjoy our time with you. Thank you for giving us this time today to talk a little bit about your journey and where you began, where you are. It's very impressive.
Thank you.
And the relationships that you're building along the way.
Oh, yeah.
You're a great value add to all this team, to the Elevate community, and to really anybody you serve. So we appreciate you very much. It's our pleasure. And folks there at home, if we can ever do anything to help you in any way, please let us know. We'll be back with one more with Miss Ciera to visit her 1-year anniversary. We'll probably do that either late December, early January, since it was January 8th you started.
Yes, sir.
Then we'll probably do this right around that time. So we'll see what a full year in real estate looked like for Ciera.
I'm excited.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right.